Yo,
So hello guys, I hope you're doing fine. So here we are today in the beginning of our project, Heads and Tail, presented by me and my colleague over here. It's a project that we had in mind for a couple of time, and that we are today proud of being able to present to you a project consisting of the achievement of videos and media content through which we wanna share our passion about science, history, and technology, and other topics. Like for example, well, you're waiting for this moment so bad. I know, gaming.
no comment.
Well, we just did.
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything on this channel. That
Ye-
will be mostly what it is.
Yeah. So my friend over here is a very good gamer.
Good. You should take that back.
You will notice that. I mean, he's just trying to be modest right now and express his modesty, but he's a very good gamer. I've seen him. I don't understand. Well, he playing strange games,
What
but
game? What are you saying?
but not only. He's also playing interesting games. Uh, you will tell him about that later.
I'll kick you ass later.
Well, you said no bad words in our stream.
What did you say?
Alright, just forget about it as if nothing happened. Uh, I guess my friend and I we are passionate about learning. We are college students and we want to learn a lot, as much as we can. About different topics, science, technology, history, geography, a lot of things. And we are very enthusiastic about that, always making researchers and trying to talk with people, exchange knowledge. We really believe that knowledge is a very fun course to pursue during one's life, and that's one of our courses to purposes in life.
What you mean curse?
No, I mean racist. Sorry, because we're our racist. I did not translate properly the world, but yeah. So this is one of the things we're most interested about. I hope you are guys as enthusiastic as we are, and I hope that through our journey be able we'll be able to entertain you with our content and provide you, with fun cases, stories, topics. We try our best, to get as much as information as we can from the best sources and with the best way. It's will be. I'm sure it will be tough many times, but we will try as much as we can to provide you, with the best content of the highest qualities, and hope that the exchange will be of great fluidity. Also want to learn from your comments and all kind of things. Uh, well, that was the presentation of our project, Heads and Tails. Well,
Are you asleep now?
uh, well, I hope that they are there. They are here as right now.
I think they are there, but not there at the same time.
Probably
Asleep.
November 30, 7 a.m. 7 p.m.
PM.
French hour.
Portugal hour. It's not the same French and Portugal hour.
Well, we are here in Portugal. It's 6 p.m., but in France it's 7 p.m.
Hmm.
Well, depends on which geographical area you are from. Well, I'm sure that there must be some people being interested about the topics. Maybe not now, but maybe later. Well, let's start. We're gonna talk about the topic of tetanus.
What the fuck is tetanus?
Bro, no bad word. We agreed on that before starting to record, bro. Come on. Well, I mean, don't. Well, tetanus is just trying to play it cool. He knows about tetanus not only because he is introducing the topic with me, but also because it's something like it's something that's many people have heard of. A very famous topic, disease that's
Very known for the vaccination, for everything, and for its problem about the nervous system.
yeah, it's a very famous disease that's I'm sure many people are very scared of. I personally have been scared of and still for many time since my teenage because of some experience. Not because I got tetanus, but just because I got introduced to it in middle school through my classes, my biology classes, and after I learned about how this disease acts and how dangerous it can be for people that are not vaccinated against it and people who get infected but do not seek treatment, how dangerous it can be. So after learning about it, started get paranoid about it. Every time I would be thinking was comforted to it, even like when I would get injured with a metal stick or during some art crafting or during some manual works. I would be injured or wounded by random things, and I would be getting a little bit worried about that.
A little bit?
Well,
You sure we're not overreacting a little?
when you heard from your biology teacher that if you get tetanus, you can
Die.
Well,
Like
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Well, but this is one obvious way of dying. You start, of course, worrying about that. Well, especially when you don't have enough information about the disease. Beside the fact that you can die from it, of course you're gonna be worried. Well, I was 13 years old.
It is called paranoia.
Yes, that's what I said exactly. I was paranoid.
Let's play a game. Hide and seek. I hide and you seek professional help.
You guide.
I hide and you seek professional help.
Bro, you speak like a French guy. I can't understand.
My god. This joke will be for another time, I think. Let's continue.
Yeah. So, yeah, tetanus is something you don't have to mess up with a lot. So, well, let's dive into this topic and explain what the disease is and how does it act, how some story related to it, etc. So tetanus is a bacterial disease that is caused by the infection related to a bacteria called Clostridium tetani. Yeah, hard name to recall. It is a dangerous disease, as I said, since it can lead to death if you're not treated or vaccinated against it before getting the disease. And it is a disease that people believe that is transmitted mainly through getting injured with rusted metals. But this is a way, and it is possible, but it is not the only way, because and not the only way, and also not even one of the most efficient way for the bacteria to get in the organism. Talk about that in more details later. About the bacteria, it is a bacteria that is anaerobic, that is gram-positive, it is motile, and it is a spore-forming one. It means that it prefer to live in environments where there is with low oxygen or none. A bacteria that has a cellular membrane surrounding the cell with a lot of polysaccharides, which are biochemical units made of saccharides and proteins that are bound together. Well, proteins is sets of amino acids, and saccharides is basically sugars. So it's sugars tied to proteins.
Saccharide is glucose and fructose, if you want to know, all of you.
So it is motile means that the bacteria has the ability to move. It is one of the characteristics that many bacteria can have. Some don't, but many have. It's allow bacteria to move in order to escape from threats, get in better environments where they can find better nutrients and where they can duplicate themselves more efficiently. Well, they allow them to move for better odds of survival. And it is also spore forming. This is also like an evolutionary mechanism that some bacteria have, others don't, and that's Clostridium tethani have. It's a mechanism that allows bacteria to protect themselves through differentiated state. They become in an inactive state called dormant. Enable them to survive during harsh environments and situations. Like for example, in the case of Clostridium tetani, when when the bacteria is compared to anaerobic environments with high oxygen level, then it can turn into a spore in order to extend its lifespan. So, I'm wondering what's the story behind this bacteria, because it's nowadays very famous, but I'm wondering if it was also famous long time ago. If people knew, since when did people been able to know about it, and since when, and also if it was a disease that people would, if the disease was disease that people would used to get used to know of a long time ago.
Thank you for your question. The first response is quite easy. We have some proof, at least a proof of description of Tenanus from 1550 years before Jesus Christ of BC, from the Edwin Smith papyrus. It was a papyrus used for medication purpose and to tell about surgeon, about disease with a high mortality rate when you close the wound to close after it happened, instead of letting it dry. Because, as we know, the bacteria is anaerobic, and so when it is exposed to air, it dies off, it can't proliferate, so it's better, and that's why they didn't treat wounds immediately. The observation from them of the disease, it was that it did muscle rigidity, which is one of the most observable symptoms of tetanus. Then its name. It came from the 5th century before BC by the physician that we all know and love, or hate, Hippocrates. He gave a detailed clinical description of the disease. This is with association with puncture wounds and a high mortality rate. The name came from the spastic paralysis caused by tetanus. It came from the word tetanos in ancient Greek, which means tension, to stress, which is on record with the muscle. In the States, the people were like, when they have tetanus, right?
Yeah. Go.
And then for all the surgeons and medicine around the world, there weren't any real change.
You made me laugh, actually.
Any real change?
Actually, it's accurate how he did it.
Any real change until the year 1884 with the famous Arthur Nicolaïr. For all the French here, we know that's how we call the Clostridium tetani in France, the Bacille de Nicolaïr, France. Joke apart, he gave the name of the bacteria because he discovered the toxin and the bacteria associated. The tetanus neurotoxin, TNT, and the Clostridium tetani. He discovered both of them from soil, from moist soil.
Yeah. Bro, why are you looking at me every time you would start swallowing when you word?
Because it's funny. Joke apart, later, exactly 1 year later, Kisato Shibasa Bureau was a sorry, I'm not Japanese, so the name was difficult to pronounce it. A Japanese researcher was the first to isolate the bacteria and make it grow in pure cell culture with the help of Emil von Behring through the use of the famous passive immunity. They were able to make some animals immune to the tetanus disease for the very first time. And then, in 1890, both of them created the first vaccine for tetanus, a serum antitoxin, which is just a serum that neutralizes the toxin. It is called tetanus immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin means antibodies, mean something that your body uses to select and destroy a foreign object. Then, in the year 1924, the first inactive vaccine for tetanus, tetanus toxoid, was created by Giraman, Zoeller, and Descombey, sealing forever the history of this disease.
Well,
but it's not over yet. In the year 1950, the serum antitoxin, because before it was extracted from antibody of horse, of blood plasma antibody horse. And because of that, people, when getting the injection of the vaccine, risked serum sickness and allergic reaction because of hypersensitivity that some of you have for allergy, for all of that, which is the overreaction of the immunitary system against an harmless substance. Nowadays we extract it from human and we use the donation of plasma, blood plasma, from people which had a vaccination or an hyperimmunization clause, so they have the highest number of antibody against the disease. That's all for history. Now, what do we do next?
well, I think how do we get this? I mean, I'm sure they want to know like that as fast as possible because, many people believe that we get it only through getting injured by rust metals and stuff, but it's not the case. So tell them how we.
Okay. The little baby, or bacteria Clostridium tetani, is found generally in its spore form in outside of its host, which is infect. So when in infect, it's a bacteria. When it is not, it is an endospore. Endospore is a bacteria that can choose to become a spore whenever it wants, whenever it needs, to become more resilient to the environment and live longer. In its spore version, it is totally safe to have. So we can breathe it, we can eat it, and that's why the most common place to find the spore is in fecal matter.
Oh, yeah.
And in general, the bacteria is found around the fecal matter in decaying organic, and generally the things that leak all of them, soil. It prefers most soil from the tropical and subtropical region because as an anaerobic bacteria, when the water goes into the soil, it gets out most of the oxygen that then can be eaten by the other organisms living here, which make a good microenvironment for this bacteria. So, mostly found in soil. Also, it is found in things that were in contact with it. Tools, peoples, and even people who have the disease.
Yes.
And that is why...
People who have the disease?
Nah, just kidding, man. And so, Tetanus spore is very quality, everyone. And because what happens when a tool stays outside too long? It rusts.
Yeah.
That's where the myth of rust is the origin of tetanus came from. Because tool outside become rusted, generally the tool that we use to gardening, to use the dirt, to remove the cadaver. That's where the myth comes from. But tetanus does not come from rust. It comes from tools that were in contact with cadaver, decaying organic matter in general, animal feces, and so soils.
Well, I mean, that's interesting.
So, what do we do next?
Well, you tell me.
I really wonder how those affect the body.
Well, that's a good question.
You know its mechanism of action, everything? Or
Well, apparently, according to my to the information I had collected, it's the bacteria when you get spread through injury, and when it's spread through injury, it tries to get into places inside your skin or tissues where there is no oxygen, because as we thought about, they prefer anaerobic environments to survive when they, so they are thriving to find places within the created by the injury and within skin that are isolated from aerobic space, because when you get injured, it happens that some necrotic tissues get formed along the way and stopping, blocking airway from going through. Then they like those places like that, and that's where they stick to. Come on, bro. I'm trying to be serious. That's when they try that's where they try to stick to, and where they germinate in order to redifferentiate from to de-differentiate in order to become again active.
To quit the spore phase.
No, they were spores and they become active.
Yeah, they quit the spore phase.
Oh, they quit. Alright, I didn't hear you well. In order to quit the spore, their dormant state to become active. When they become active, then they start being able to release some toxins, which are chemicals that are perceived as being toxic by the organism. These toxins They are inhibitors of glycine and GABA, which are some neurotransmitters that play the role of that are inhibitory, and their role consists of modulating, apparently modulating the excitatory states of the neurons, to regulating the charge and making it more positive when other neurotransmitters, more negative, sorry, when other neurotransmitters depolarize their neurons from inside to make it more positive.
Anyway, it stops the use of a really important neurotransmitter for the whole nervous system.
It makes your neurons get less excited. That's what these two neurotransmitters do, and these two neurotransmitters do that are inhibited by the neurotoxins released by the bacteria. Well, when you don't have these two neurotransmitters, then their modulatory effects gets diluted, and the other excitatory neurotransmitters have much more actions and effects. They overstimulate the nervous system more, and the nervous system is connected to muscles, target organs, and other, and tissues. These toxins, and also interesting thing is that it travel through the axon, then reach the pericardium, which is the body of the neuron, and then travel also enter between from one neuron to another. So if you get injured in your head, in your hand, you travel through your nerves until reaching your spinal cord, which is part of the central nervous system. And when it's actually reaches the central nervous system, then it's become more important because
you are dead.
No, not yet. But that's when generalized consequences start to appear, because your nervous system is where all the peripheral system are.
And what is the generalized problem?
Oh yeah, this because there is tetanus can be either local or generalized. When it's local, the symptoms tend to appear locally because of the toxins not spreading yet to other part of the body. So it consists of local actions like local muscular contraction and that kind of thing. But when it's generalized, then it's manifests through effects and symptoms on different areas of the bodies, tetanus has strong effects on muscles, because through the overexcitated state of the neurons, it drives muscles to contract in an abnormal way. These abnormal ways consist of spasms, which are like small contractions, but that are how can I say sequentially and successive. When you, for example, or when your skin starts, you feel like your muscles start vibrating. This is a spasm. Or it can lead also to more rigidity in your muscle, which is like a more long-term, permanent contraction of the muscle. Then like cramps, for example, when your muscle tonality gets increased, and your muscle become rigid. So that's why the effect on muscles. Well, it's more than it's a big effect, because a lot of muscles and
it can break bone, for example.
It can also interfere with important functions like breathing, swallowing, and also, in fact, swallowing is one of the first functions that is affected when you get infected by tetanus. And when you get infected by tetanus, one of the first functions that is that is compromised because of the disease, because of the of the overstimulation and and increased tonality of some muscles in your jaw, like the masseter muscle, for example. Then you have some difficulties opening your mouth and eating, which is a problem. Some other but you can apply this to other muscles like abdominal muscles, back muscles, your muscle in the neck also start to become very rigid, and there is also this state called opisthoporus, which is the position you made earlier. Yeah, this position like that, which is like very typical to tetanus. It's driven by the contraction of your biceps and this side of your arm, and also the contraction of
everything is contracted.
No, your back muscles. And that's why you actually do like that. So, or if you type tetanus,
maybe I should take some from a posture.
What?
Maybe I should take some from a posture.
If you type tetanus posture, you'll find patients sadly being like that. So, well, that's a journey. That's actually terrific state of being. Well, it's usually happens during. It concerns mainly the generalized form of the disease. But an interesting thing is that these are all. It affects both as the motor neuron, the motor system as well as the autonomic system, because you can control your muscle voluntary and also non-voluntary, but the disease does not only affect the voluntary contractions of the muscles, the voluntary muscles, but also the non-voluntary, the muscles that are controlled by your autonomic system. And more than that, it's also have other effects other than muscles. Like for example, the increased release of norepinephrine and epinephrine, which are the two hormones produced in your adrenal gland that are stimulated by excitatory state.
Because of the absence of GABA and glycine.
Yeah, in this case, yeah. But in general, those are some hormones that are released when your nervous system is overstimulated, driving the heart to pump faster and your blood pressure to regulate itself in order to increase in areas of the body, like around the muscles.
You mean the fight or flight response?
For the flight or flight response, when your body is in danger, that's when epinephrine and norepinephrine are released.
Interesting.
Well, so if you can take something from that, is that when you get tetanus, especially generalized form,
state.
I read that it appears as being, it manifests through, as I said, a lockjaw, a difficulty swallowing, like stiffness, abdominal rigidity, and hyperactivity of the muscles of the head, neck, trunk, to some extent difficulty breathing to the rigidity of the respiratory muscle, and if this is compromised, this is a big trouble, because it can lead to apparently lead to severe consequences.
Okay.
So tell me, you wanted to talk about immunology, right?
Yes, because I'm sure most of you may be smart, but Can you know something about immunology? Well, you know what are immunoglobulin, antibodies, immune system, or vaccine work. I prepared a little part to talk about you how immunology work, and so vaccinology too. Immunology is a branch of biomedical science that talks about the system in our body that is here to protect us from foreign problem or even mostly anything. But that excludes most of other like muscle, nervous, etc. It's just something specific. It's generally antipathogenic substance like bacteria, virus, fungi, parasites, and abnormal cells such as
What?
abnormal cells such as
Can you repeat the sentence?
abnormal cells such as
Can you repeat the whole sentence? Because I was actually.
the immune system and pathogenic substance and abnormal cells such as
Cancerous cells?
yes,
Alright. Nice.
really good.
Really good.
Joker part.
Okay.
It can be divided into two parts: the innate and the adaptive system. The innate system is the one you have at birth.
Ouais.
Simple. It is mostly composed of the physical barrier, which is just the body stopping your skin, the mucous area. It's just the first form of layer of protection. Protection, simple. You have also chemical defense in the innate immunity, such as saliva, stomach enzyme, and much other, in simple protection for the external area or the ones that are in contact with the external world. And finally, you have some part of the immune system, such as macrophage, neutrophil, dendritic cells, the natural killer cells.
What are those?
Natural killer cells,
I mean,
the NK. Within the physical barrier, chemical barrier, and this is the immune barrier. The cells you have at birth, they will destroy anything they see. That's simple. And then you have the thing beautiful, the adaptive immune system, which is by definition one you need to adapt to have. You don't have it at birth. You have it, but it don't really work. It grows for your whole life until you have disease. When you have a disease, it will remember and make sure you'll be better protected next time. And do that through three important cells. The T cells, which help recognize and destroy infected or abnormal cells and help transmit message between other cells. The B cells, there are two types, the memory type and the antibody type. So, the second type is the one that produce the antibodies. If you know, you heard it everywhere, which are also called immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin or antibodies are some molecules that will connect to an antigen. An antigen is just a remarkable substance of the immune system which is recognized as foreign and dangerous. Bacteria have antigen, virus, etc., etc. And the other memory B cells, they remember how to do the specific antibody or which one works the best. And so when the same disease, bacteria, fungi, in this case tetanus happen, they will tell all the other B cells how to make the antibody, or to recognize. And we also talk in our presentation about active and passive immunity. Passive immunity is gained through the transfer of antibody. For example, the milk from a mother to a child. Or other type. And that was the first type we saw. The second type is active immunity, is when you see the pathogen itself. You get it inside you. And it happens in case of vaccination or just having the disease. And it is leading the development of those memory B cells.
Nice. Well, Our immune system is really doing a good job.
I think so.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be alive without it, right?
Maybe I never got any disease in my life.
No, that's not possible, especially you.
It's next to impossible in terms of probability, but not impossible. It's not zero the possibility of it happening.
Well, well, because impossible is not French, right?
Not American, I would say, but yet I accept the joke.
Right. Well, to continue about that, what he said, immunity is also involved. You might be probably like, what is immunity doing against tetanus? Well, it's trying to think about tetanus is that it has a very quick mode of action. There are when you get infected by the bacteria, there is first a barrier and macrophages trying to engulf the bacteria, but when it releases toxins, then toxins travel to axons and become more difficult for the immune system to counter to counter them because of its effectiveness and also because of its fast way of spreading. So especially during infections, deep infections, during which with sensitive materials, very high contaminated materials, you are more prone to get confronted to the consequences of tetanus. Well, there is also this interesting question that I asked myself and found in the internet that people have been asking to themselves, and the question is it contagious? Like if I touch you, will you get tetanus? If I am no, bro, don't spread wrong information. Don't get tetanus by touching one person to another.
I'm vaccinated, no problem. You ever got my boost, but you did not.
Well, it doesn't work. You don't get tetanus by touching one another. In fact, tetanus doesn't spread from one human to another. It's not a way of how it works. So, I think that it's not like how other bacteria and also some viruses work that you can contract through breathing or touching. Tetanus doesn't work that way. It really requires to be to get injured and wounded by contaminated materials, and the wound by contaminated materials.
Mm-hmm.
And the deeper the wound is, the likely you are to get contaminated
Yes.
by the bacteria. So it's very very unlikely that you get tetanus from being in contact with the human. Well, you see, I don't have anything.
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. No, but I'm sure that I won't have anything. Well, I will let you guys know because you don't have. And bro, what did you
See
do?
you in 10 days.
No, bro.
We see in 10 days if he'll be sick.
Well, actually, good thing. The incubation period. What is an incubation period? It's the period during which the symptoms start to appear, which means
The symptoms have not yet appeared. That is incubation.
yeah,
Incubation period is a symptom have not yet appeared, but you have the bacteria inside you.
yeah.
The types of bacteria be in a big enough amounts to be able to cause a problem.
Yeah, I thank you for rectifying what I said. For putting it in better words, the period separating the time of infection and the time at which you start manifesting the effects of the infection.
Symptom.
Well, for tetanus, it varies. It depends on many factors like how far is the infection, how deep it is, and the type of objects you have been wounded with.
To what I saw, it is sometimes 2-3 months, but generally it is 10 days. Generally,
Well, yeah,
it can be to multiple months, and even 7.
yeah, not months but more weeks.
Oh, yes, month.
Really?
Hmm.
Well,
But 10 days generally. 10
I've-
days generally.
I thought that it was like days to weeks. That's
It
represent.
depends, but generally 10
But
days
it
and can
can-
go to the longest, to the month, to the longest.
Well, yeah, it really depends. So, well, it really depends. Guys, protect yourself. You're not vaccinated against tetanus, and if you get injured, seek medical advice as
Yes.
soon as possible.
Especially if you are in a rural area. As we said, it is mostly found in soils. So,
Yeah,
for people who
soil,
work-
manure.
for people who work in hospital, for people who work with the earth, for example farmer, or people in tropical and subtropical environments, wash your hand and get vaccinated.
Yeah, and seek medical advice if you're not vaccinated, and even if you are vaccinated, and seek medical advice anytime you get injured with like in contact with soil, and when you're in contact with soil, or like if you get injured by those farming utensils, and or
And also, one of the main cases of tetanus in our country, or developed country, is that adults forget to take their boost. For people that don't know, when you have a vaccine, some vaccines are for all life, and some of them don't work until a certain period. So you need what it's called a boost to make sure that you're immune again. You're sure to immune of the disease. So get your boost of your vaccine.
yeah, that's wise. Was a wise man once said that better prevent.
Who was that idiot?
What?
Who was that idiot?
Well, it was I just need it.
You are the idiot.
I'm a wise man.
You're both, I think. So then, see you next week. And don't hesitate to give any comment to do what we will do on the next stream.
Yeah.
For the moment, we think doing about evolution for the next time. But if you have any team you want for us to go deeper, or to explain, or to ask,
Let some
don't
comments
hesitate.
down, and let us know what you want. All right. Goodbye.
So goodbye.